Good morning, everyone. All right, everybody, welcome back to Acres of Adventure. If you're new here, my name's Tom. Me and Chelsea decided today was just kind of show you like a daily routine of how much effort it maybe takes to raise chickens and what we do on a day-to-day basis with our chickens for maintenance and keeping up. And today will be a good day. There's a few extra things that probably than our normal daily stuff, but we'll make sure that we'll let you know that maybe that's not something that you have to do every day. Hi, Milo. So right now what you want to do is starting around sunrise, 7:30, you let your chickens out, you bring them food. I gotta go get them their water still. What they do right now is they'll just all eat. They usually take a drink. And as you can see, it is snowing. That's what makes this routine a little bit more fun, and we'll explain why during the winter time, what extra things that we maybe do. This is all they really will need. I like to say good morning to them and get them more accustomed with our voice. And then I usually like to try to pet them as they eat a little bit, and that just kind of gets them more accustomed with our hands. This is about what it is. Yes, you do got to wake up early. We try to do about a cup of food a day in their feeder for each chicken. So we have 10 chickens, so we do about 10 cups of food is how we mix it up in there. That seems to last in their feeder. We also bring them treats throughout the day and snacks and food scraps, so that will help also so that they don't feel like they have to have just that food for the day, which is also really good for them. So I'm gonna get back inside, go get their water. Hey, take it, watch out, take it. So it is probably now about 9:30, 2 hours after I let them out during the winter time, unfortunately. So we've made the decision not to have any electricity inside our coop. So we have to come out here and make sure that the water doesn't freeze over. Make sure that it's still clean for them. Even if it wasn't freezing out here, you want to make sure that this water stays clean. We've been through about 3 waterers from trying to break the ice and them actually the plastic just snapping. So this latest one that we have doesn't have any legs to have it stand up off the ground a little bit, so it seems to get dirtier faster. So we want to make sure that we come out every few hours to make sure that the water isn't dirty or anything like that. I also have some breakfast scraps from this morning from the girls not finishing our eggs. So chickens are going to eat some eggs while I try to get their water out. This is about the next step in the day with the chickens, is just kind of coming out here and making sure that their water isn't froze over. So you can see, not really bad actually. I see a little bit of chicken poop in it, but really not too bad. So the water's not frozen either, which is good. Sometimes it only takes a few hours here in Michigan for this thing to start freezing. So I'm just gonna clear it out, make sure it's clean, put it back in there for them. But yeah, everything looks good. I would check for eggs, but it's still pretty early, only 9:30. So sometimes they like to start laying them around now, but we'll wait a little bit longer before we check for eggs. Only one of our 9 hens has started to lay. We're hoping that we'll see double eggs in there eventually with one of them out starting to pick up, but with it being pretty cold and them just starting to be around that egg laying age, I don't think that it'll be just yet, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky and there'll be 2 eggs. All right, this time I have a little helper out here with me, huh? Theo! Hi, Theo! Ooh, our rooster really wants to crow at us sometimes when we come out here. I have a makeshift fence that just is kind of held up by items because we can't stick anything into the ground since it is frozen. But this is supposed to give them just a small spot to free range while it's snowy in the winter time and before we actually build their huge big coop. Well, right now it's about noon. I'll probably check for an egg this time since they've been in the coop all morning now. So they've had enough sunlight, been coming out a little bit today. Hi. Are you happy to be outside? And I'm gonna open up the doors to see if they'll come out. Usually they won't want to walk out on the snow. So we'll see if they want to come out, but we'll do this, get their water out, get their food out, and see if they'll start kind of moving around a little bit today, because they did like it the other day, but there was no snow on the ground, and now we have snow all over the ground. Let me open up the doors and see if they decide to come out today. chickens. It feels very nice to give them a chance to get outside the coop, especially during the winter time where they want to spend so much time in there, understandably because of how cold it is. So I had to lure them out here with some mealworms, but it's very nice to see them out, not having to be so stuck in the coop. And the more they get used to being with the snow and in cold weathers, that'll only make them stronger, especially since they're still growing right now. We like to get them out here if we can. Obviously this isn't the nice fencing that we would like. They can easily jump it if they wanted to, but most of the time they do pretty good about staying in. Only once in a while we have to go put another one back into the coop. This little guy's probably getting cold. Didn't check for eggs yet. We'll go back and check the next time around. But this is what I wanted to do this time, is I wanted to get them outside now that the sun's coming out and just check their water, make sure it's not frozen. I probably will keep the food and water in the run, while occasionally coming out here maybe and sprinkling some on the ground for them, for the food wise at least, just so they can learn their foraging skills a little bit more. Right now, I'd say this is a win. I didn't think they were gonna jump out into the snow, and they were all coming out a little bit for the most part. Yeah, you cold? So I think it's time to get this little guy inside, huh?
Today's a little bit different of a day. We are outside even though it is still freezing cold. Tom gets ambitious and he wants to let the chickens free range, so he got a little bit of our grass shoveled off and letting the chickens out in this little fenced in area that we have. So today we're doing a little bit more hanging out with the chickens. Normally it's just a few check-ons during the day because I am the one with the kids, and so I really don't have a lot of time to hang out with them. But that is one of the nice things with chickens, is they don't really require a lot of time. In the mid-afternoon I usually come out and give them our scraps, like from breakfast, and our snacks that we can give them, and I make sure their water's good. Usually give them some mealworms too, especially with how cold it's been. That way I know that they're getting protein. They have been powering through their food, so I'm pretty sure that they have done good with their eating habits still. And I check if there's an egg, because we do have one hen laying right now, and so I come to see to make sure that hopefully the egg is not frozen. Usually I don't find anything. It's one of the kids that will come out and check later on that finds something. We might have an idea who is laying the egg. We just saw a hen go into the nesting box and we heard a lot of scraping, and so we are going to wait and see if she is the one laying the egg. Tom has yelled at me because I've been trying to peek at her, and he's like, don't ruin it. I'm hoping that we can figure out who it is, that we kind of know. And we are also, while we're out here today, we're also trying to socialize our rooster a little bit. He has been a little bit aggressive towards our daughter, and so we're just trying to see if it is a temperament thing or if he just needs more space or what's going on. So we're just kind of hanging out with them and just seeing how everything goes.
Alright, so this has actually turned out to be a lot better day for the chickens. The snow has really started to melt all around here. They've been able to get some free ranging in and enjoy moving around and foraging here on the grass. This isn't always how it's been lately for us, especially being in the wintertime in Michigan. A lot of times they're stuck in their coop and their run over here. But it's been nice that they've been able to enjoy this more, and hopefully the snow tries to calm down a little bit. We are heading into March, so that's usually the time that it will start to slow down. It doesn't stop, but slow down. And it'll be very nice to just have them free ranging and not having to worry so much about what's going on with them or how they're feeling being in their coop all day or anything like that. They definitely are a lot other than mine, who wants to make so much noise. They're definitely a lot happier out here, moving around, and they're able to come to us more. When they're inside their coop, we don't really know how affectionate they want to be towards us. Do they want to be towards us? Do they like when we put our hands in there? But you can really tell when we come out here and walking around and they're following us. Probably because they're used to us just handing them food all the time. They actually do follow us, come towards us, and everything like that. So we're probably going to be leaving in a little bit to go get some other errands done. So what I want to do now is I want to get these chickens probably put back into the coop in the run And also I want to check and make sure that we don't have an egg. When we get back, it'll be time to lock them up. It is now 2 o'clock. Really the main things we have to do is make sure that that they have access to their food. Today's been a little different since we've had them free ranging, so we wanted to make sure our fence hasn't fallen down and that they've had the full free range. We wanted to keep them contained here where we can keep them safe. But you can see that all we've really had to mainly do is come out here and make sure that the water doesn't freeze. And with having the water out here into the sunlight and not being underneath their run the whole day, the water hasn't froze all day. And it stays clean because they only have to come next to it for water. It's not jam-packed inside their run. So today's been a really good day for the chickens. When you have them more out and they're not stuck inside the coop, it really is more of a low maintenance kind of thing. I've done a few extra things more than normal, just so that you guys can see some other things that you have to do when you own chickens. So that's taking care of the straw, making sure that the poop doesn't build up in there, making sure you put another layer of bedding on top. Probably should round them up so that they're not just out here like this while we're gone. We did see a hawk circling around here just not too long ago, so it helps to have the dogs around to help protect them and everything. I don't know if something just set them off. I don't know, it was a big wind gust, but you saw a rooster call and now they're all starting to jump in. So I don't know if something calling them in or why they have to come in there or not, but it looks like everyone didn't get the message though. So we'll see if we have an egg. I'm not sure if we're gonna have one or not today. We didn't get one yesterday, and before that, the chicken that's been laying for us laid 6 out of the 7 days. So I'm guessing we might have one today, but I might be interrupting one of the processes. I'm not sure if because there's new bedding in there, sometimes they just like to sit in there more. It seems like that happens quite a bit. But I'm hoping that they're laying or sitting down on an egg. That would be ideal. But it seems right now I can't see if there's an egg in there. I don't want to rustle around or move anything because if that chicken is in that process of trying to lay an egg, you don't want to ruin that. So now it's time to get these chickens put away. Let's see how it goes. All right, real quick. Holy smokes. It's like trying to talk in the house with kids when this rooster's out here. Instead of having to physically grab them, I moved their food and water in there and now they are all just jumping in. So that made it nice and easy. Actually, our girl Rosie, let's see if I can grab her. She's a little shy. She's usually the last one out, and she's actually the one that I just showed you guys that was in the nesting box, maybe laying an egg. I got her. Our girl Rosie here is out here and everyone else is in, so I wanted to give her some time since she's usually the one that kind of hangs out by herself a lot. But let's see if she laid us an egg. Did you lay us an egg? Let's see. We got our first egg that's not green. That means that Rosie probably laid the egg, and also that is our second chicken now to start laying eggs. This is a pretty good size. Oh man. That's what happens when you wear gloves. I dropped it and cracked it. But this is exciting that now we have 2 hens that are gonna lay eggs. But this one might have to go to Milo now that I broke it. So cracked egg goes to Mr. Milo here. Unfortunate that we don't get to enjoy it, but hey, wait, set. Hopefully we'll be able to enjoy the next egg that's like that, but it's okay to feed him sometimes, I guess. He needs some protein also. I looked very orange. Did you like it? Was it good? Did you enjoy it? Yeah. I got them all inside their coop. We're gonna get ready to go do some errands, then we'll be back to put them to bed. It is now 7 p.m. and the last thing that we have to do is just lock them up. It used to be a long process, we had to grab them physically, but we finally found a way so that they would go into the coop all by themselves. So all I gotta do is lock them up real quick. And that's all I have to do. I put this on the lock. I have to make sure all these locks are still on, which that one wasn't right there. I make sure all the other locks are on throughout the coop, just to make sure that some of these don't open up somehow in the middle of the night, or any kind of predator is able to move just one of them. So that's why they're all double locked, which is nice. But since we have kids, it is nice to check all these locks twice to make sure that they haven't been played with or anything. We take their food and water. We'll dump their water out, we take their food so that the smell of the food isn't out here for the predators as well. So I'll take that with me as I go, but that's all you gotta do for them at nighttime. So, as you can see, it's not a lot of work at all to put them to bed or anything like that. Although it used to be, if you have chickens that are not sleeping in their coop like a normal chicken does, and their instincts know to put them in the coop at night, then it could be a lot of work, because it used to be for us, but this is all it takes. You come out here, lock them up, take their food and water, and listen to your rooster tell you good night like that, and then you tell them, good night rooster, good night chickens, and then that's all you have to do, and then you're all set. So I'd always say overall on a scale, if you had to grade it out of like a 10 for how hard it is to maintain and raise chickens, I would give it like a 6. Not that it's the hardest thing, but I don't want to say it's super easy either. It does take time and effort if you really want to care about your chicken's health, to make sure that everything's going okay with them and all that. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll be back with more videos. See you guys in the next one.